Butler, brilliance, and Siraj's homecoming firepower flattened RCB as Titans charged ahead. Venue, M. Chinnaswamy Stadium, Belgayuru. Date, 2nd April 2025. Result, Gujarat Titans won by 8 wickets with 13 balls remaining. The roar of the Chinnaswamy faithful was hushed twice. First, by the unlikeliest antagonist, their once beloved pacer Monsuch, who lit up the power play with furious accuracy and emotion. Then, by the clinical brilliance of Jos Buttler, who remained unbeaten on 73, dismantling RCB's challenge with a calm yet commanding chase. Gujarat Titans GT not only ended RCB's winning streak, but did so at their fortress with calculated ruthlessness. What started as a stirring redemption arc for Siraj ended as a reminder that Buttler, when composed, can make any total feel insignificant. Siraj's statement, revenge served fast and full. If there's ever been a more personal spell in this IPL, it might be hard to find. Discarded by Royal Challengers Bengaluru before the mega auction, Siraj walked into the cauldron of Chinnaswamy with nothing but fire in his belly and a point to prove. What followed was a near-perfect power play spell, full of venom and precision. Clocking speeds above 145 km per hour, Siraj took the pitch out of the equation and zeroed in on the stumps, a rare blend of hostility and discipline. Padikkal was bowled trying to charge down the track. Phil Salt was dismantled. His off-stump rattled after a 105-meter six the ball before. Later, Liam Livingstone, RCB's best hope, was bounced out and caught the cap of a stirring performance. Siraj figures, 3 for 19 in 4 overs, including 14 dots, were not just numbers. They were a message. This wasn't just about wickets. This was emotion, redemption, and a celebration of relentless hard work. His iconic Sioux celebration, it returned, but not for the home crowd. RCB faltered before mid-innings revival. Despite losing 4 wickets inside 6.2 overs, RCB clawed their way back to 169 for 8, thanks in large part to Liam Livingstone 54 and a fiery cameo from Tim David 32 off 18. For much of the innings, RCB were stuck between consolidation and acceleration. After Salt, Padikkal, Paradar, and Kohli were all dismissed in single digits, it was up to Jitesh Sharma and Livingstone to rebuild. Jitesh's 33 of 20 included powerful pulls and late cuts, but he fell just when he started to look dangerous. Livingstone, dropped twice and surviving a mistumping, finally found his rhythm, taking on Rashid Khan like few dare to. In 1 over, Livingstone smashed Rashid for 3 massive sixes, bringing up his 50 and pushing RCB toward a somewhat respectable total. But with wickets falling in clusters and GT spinners like Sai Kishore applying the brakes 2 for 24, RCB had no momentum heading into the death. Still, 64 runs in the final 5 overs gave them hope. Buttler and Sudarsan, smooth operators in the chase. Gujarat Titans' reply was calm and calculated. Despite losing skipper Shubman Gill early for 8, Sai Sudarsan 49 of 32 and Jos Buttler made the target look trivial. Their stand of 75 of 48 balls was laced with timing, placement, and the occasional boundary flourish. Sudarsan, all elegance and intent, fed off Buttler's presence, while Buttler picked his moments to accelerate. Bhuvneshwar Kumar was effective with the new ball, but once the power play ended, RCB's bowlers lacked bite. Buttler shifted gears seamlessly, moving from 25 of 20 to 73 not out of 39, never really looking troubled. When Sudarsan fell 1 short of a deserved 50, in came Sherfane Rutherford, whose clean hitting 30 runs not out of 17 took GT home in a canter. Their unbroken 63-run stand of 32 balls flattened any RCB hopes and finished the match with 13 balls to spare. Match summary: Royal Challengers Bengaluru 169 for 8. Livingstone 54 of 39, Jitesh 33, David 32. Siraj 3 for 19, Sai Kishatu for 24, Ishant 1 for 27. Gujarat Titans 170 for 2 of 17.5 overs. Butler 73, Sudarshan 49, Rutherford 30. Bhuvneshwar 1 for 23, Hazelwood 1 for 26. Result: Gujarat Titans won by 8 wickets. Player of the match, Mohammad Siraj. Talking points and tactical triumphs. Siraj's power play impact. RCB were rocked by Siraj's discipline and pace, a spell of raw intent and tactical bowling that set the tone for the match. Livingstone's one-man show. He was lucky to survive early but cashed in spectacularly, especially against Rashid Khan, whom he punished for 39 runs off 17 balls. Butler's anchoring masterclass, a vintage display, controlled, measured, and aggressive when needed. He never allowed RCB to claw back. GT's use of spin and slower ball bowlers. On a slower pitch, Sai Kishore, Rashid, and Hardik mixed up their pace brilliantly. Even Ishant Sharma played his role by taking pace off at the right time. RCB struggles. Top order collapse. 42 for 4 in the power play left them playing catch-up. Middle order carrying the burden. Despite Livingstone and David's fireworks, the lack of partnerships hurt them. Bowling lackluster at the death. Once Hazelwood and Bowie were done, GT's batters found little resistance from the rest of the attack. Final word. Gujarat Titans look formidable again, adaptable, strategically sharp, and brimming with match winners. If Mohammad Siraj continues to bowl like this, and Butler continues to lead chasers like a maestro, GT will once again be one of the hardest sides to beat in IPL 2025. RCB, meanwhile, need to reassess their top-order game plan. Power play failures, over-reliance on late surges, and limited bowling depth beyond Hazelwood and Bowie could haunt them deeper into the tournament.
Prabh Simran ignites PBKS charge as Kings outclass Lucknow Super Giants. Date: 1st April 2025. Venue: Mohali. Result: Punjab Kings beat Lucknow Super Giants by 8 wickets with 20 balls to spare. Punjab Kings, PBKS may have started the season quietly, but with 2 clinical wins in 2 games, they are now roaring with confidence. On Tuesday evening, it was all about Prabh Simran Singh's dazzling 69, a clever bowling display spearheaded by Arshdeep Singh, and Shreyas Iyer's smooth finishing touch that dismantled Lucknow Super Giants, LSG in Mohali. LSG's 171 for 7, once thought to be par, quickly looked undercooked the moment Prabh Simran walked out. With effortless aggression and incredible timing, he put PBKS in cruise control. And once he departed to a remarkable boundary catch, Iyer took over the wheel and drove the Kings home with an unbeaten 52, reaffirming PBK's depth and intent in IPL 2025. LSG's misfire, top-order blows and pants woes. Opting to bat on a red soil surface with some bite early on, LSG's innings never truly gained stability. Mitchell Marsh's golden duck, caught off the first ball he faced, set the tone for a wobbly start. Aden Markaram, despite looking fluent with a few boundaries, fell for 28 to Lockie Ferguson's clever inside-seeking delivery. The big concern continues to be Rishabh Pant, who is enduring a torrid IPL with scores of 8, 7, and now just 2 in his first 3 innings. PBKS used Glenn Maxwell's off-spin as the perfect matchup, and Pant once again fell prey. His strike rate of 65.38 this season, given his price tag and reputation, is causing serious tension in the LSG camp. Pooran, Badoni and Samad inject fire, but too late. Amid the chaos, Nicholas Pooran tried to resurrect the innings with a typically flamboyant 44 off 30. He pierced gaps, muscled boundaries, and launched counterattacks even against Yuzvendra Chahal's guileful wrist spin. But Chahal, calm as ever, had the last laugh, floating a slower wrong and wide that Pooran miscued straight to long off. Ayush Badoni and Abdul Samad then gave the innings its late pulse, hammering 47 runs in just 21 balls to lift LSG to 171. The highlight? Samad's outrageous reverse scoop for 6 over the keeper, followed by a 20-run over against Arshdeep that momentarily stunned the hosts. Yet, Arshdeep would return. Both Samad and Badoni were caught in the final over as PBKS closed the innings with crucial momentum. Arshdeep's 3 for 43 was expensive but effective. Prabhsimran sparks the run chase. With the ball coming on better in the second innings, Prabhsimran Singh wasted no time. He took advantage of the hard new ball and LSG's pace-heavy attack, finding gaps, clearing boundaries, and dancing down the track with purpose. In a 34-ball blitz, he clobbered 6 fours and 4 sixes, treating Shardul Thakur and Avesh Khan with disdain. Pant's move to bring in Digvesh Rathi, LSG's mystery spinner, nearly worked when Marsh dropped a sitter at slip, but Rathi got Priyansh Arya soon after. But Prabhsimran wasn't done. He slog-swept Ravi Bishnoi twice in 1 over and switch-hit M. Siddharth for 4. When he finally perished for 69, thanks to a brilliant boundary relay catch between Badoni and Bishnoi, PBKS needed only 62 of 59. The damage was done. Shreyas Iyer, calm amid the chaos. If Prabhsimran was fire, Shreyas Iyer was cool, calm, and calculated. Knowing the chase was well under control, he paced his innings beautifully, pushing ones and twos, punishing the odd bad ball, and rotating strike with ease. He raised his half-century in style and remained unbeaten on 52 of 30 balls, his timing as smooth as ever. Alongside him, Nehal Vadhera played the supporting role to perfection, finishing unbeaten on 24 of 19 as the pair added an unbroken 67-run partnership. PBKS sealed the deal with 20 balls to spare, making it one of the more dominant run chases of the tournament so far. Match summary. Lucknow Super Giants, 171 for 7 of 20 overs. Pooran 44 of 30, Badoni 41 of 24, Samad 23 of 10. Arshdeep 3 for 43, Maxwell 1 for 17, Ferguson 1 for 29. Punjab Kings, 177 for 2 from 16.4 overs. Prabhsimran 69 from 34, Iyer 52 not out from 30, Vadhera 24 not out of 19. Rathi 2 for 30. Result, Punjab Kings won by 8 wickets. Player of the match, Prabhsimran Singh. Talking points. PBKS winning without overseas firepower, neither Ferguson, Maxwell, nor Johnson dominated the headlines. The Indian core stepped up, and that's huge for PBKS moving forward. Pant's slump deepens, 3 games, just 17 runs, and a troubling strike rate. Questions will rise, and LSG may have to re-strategize. Samad's rise, Abdul Samad is slowly turning into one of the most dangerous late-over batters in IPL, and he's loving his new responsibility. PBKS bowling flexibility, mixing up new ball roles, introducing Maxwell early, and utilizing Arshdeep at the death, PBKS are showing tactical fluidity. Final word. With back-to-back wins, Punjab Kings have quietly become one of the early title favourites. They're not relying on flashy overseas signings, but on smart strategies, domestic depth, and role clarity. In contrast, LSG need to patch leaks quickly, especially with Pant's form, middle-order frailty, and erratic death bowling. As the IPL 2025 caravan rolls on, keep your eyes on Prabhsimran and Iyer. Their form could just be the heartbeat of PBKS this season.
KL Rahul silences Jinnaswamy with sublime 93 as Delhi Capitals humble RCB again *. In a contest brimming with momentum shifts and raw emotion, it was KL Rahul, the local boy turned visitor, who had the final word. His commanding, unbeaten 93 of just 53 balls led the Delhi Capitals to a stirring 6-wicket win over Royal Challengers Bangalore, extending DC's unbeaten run in IPL 2025 and leaving RCB still winless at home. The night had begun with fireworks for RCB as Phil Salt came out all guns blazing. In an exhilarating opening burst, Salt tore into the Delhi Capitals' attack, particularly targeting Mitchell Starc in an over that yielded 30 runs. Smashing 3 sixes and 4 boundaries in just 17 balls, Salt helped RCB race to 53 without loss in just 3 overs, their second fastest team 50 in IPL history. However, the euphoria in the stands quickly evaporated. A miscommunication between Salt and Virat Kohli led to a run-out, triggering a dramatic collapse. Devdutt Padikkal struggled to get going, managing only 1 of 8 balls before falling to Mukesh Kumar. With the openers gone and momentum lost, RCB's middle order came under pressure. Enter Kuldeep Yadav and Vipraj Nigam. On a surface often dubbed a graveyard for spinners, the Delhi duo turned the tide with a masterclass in control and deception. Nigam removed Kohli, who miscued an attempted lofted drive, while Kuldeep baffled the batters with his variations, accounting for Jitesh Sharma and Rajat Patidar. Krunal Pandya also fell to Nigam, and suddenly RCB had slumped to 125 for 7 by the 18th over. Only Tim David offered resistance at the back end of the innings. With 4 sixes and the boundaries in a brisk 37 of 20 balls, David's late onslaught ensured RCB had something to ball at, finishing on 163 for 7. While not a daunting total by Chinnaswamy standards, it was enough to give their bowlers hope, at least momentarily. Delhi's chase began on shaky ground. Fab du Plessis fell early, mistiming Yash Dayal to mid-off, and Jake Frizzemaker continued his quiet season with a top edge of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Abhishek Porel became Bhuvneshwar's second victim, and by the end of the power play, DC were reeling at 39 for 3. When Krunal Pandya trapped Axar Patel in the 9th over, Delhi had slid to 58 for 4, and the atmosphere inside the stadium buzzed with expectation. That was when KL Rahul took charge. Until the 11th over, Rahul had struggled for fluency. He was 29 of 29 balls, out of rhythm, and had already survived a difficult chance on 7. But from that point on, he was a man transformed. Together with Tristan Stubbs, he stitched together an astonishing counterattack. The pair added 111 runs in just 41 deliveries, turning the match on its head with sheer timing and composure. Rahul began his assault with a pair of classy boundaries against Liam Livingstone. He followed that up with a merciless takedown of George Hazelwood, scoring 22 runs in 1 over with a flurry of 4s and a towering 6. Stubbs played his part too, reverse sweeping Krunal to the boundary and lofting Surya Sharma for 4 and 6 in the same over. The required run rate, which had hovered around 11 at one point, melted away. With just 18 balls left, Delhi needed 19. Yash Dayal returned, but Rahul was already in overdrive. He smashed the 6s over fine leg and pulled a thunderous boundary to finish the chase with authority. As the winning 6 sailed into the night sky, Rahul roared and slammed his bat into the turf, a celebration of dominance, relief, and homecoming rolled into one. His 93 not out, built with finesse and power, turned the game after DC's win probability had dropped to 14% earlier in the innings. It was an innings that not only highlighted Rahul's class but also stamped Delhi's credentials as genuine contenders this season. For RCB, it was another case of what might have been. After such a blistering start with the bat and a strong power play with the ball, they once again let the game slip. Their spinners failed to exert control, and their pace bowlers crumbled under pressure. Despite Salt's early fireworks and Tim David's late surge, their total proved insufficient. Delhi Capitals, meanwhile, remain unbeaten, now 4 games in, looking like one of the most well-rounded sides in the tournament. For KL Rahul, the match was personal, and he delivered with performance for the ages.
Marsh, Puran Masterclass helps LSG edge past KKR in Eden Thriller. LSG survive KKR scare in high-scoring classic at Eden Gardens. Lucknow Super Giants LSG pulled off a thrilling 4-run win against Kolkata Knight Riders KKR in a high-scoring contest at Eden Gardens, where more than 470 runs were scored and several moments flipped the script. Despite Nicholas Puran's blistering 87 not out of 36 balls and Mitchell Marsh's solid 81, it took a late collapse by KKR's middle order and some tight death overs from LSG to seal the win. Power hitters dominate, Marsh, Markaram and Pooran go big. Sent in to bat first, LSG piled up their second highest IPL total of 238 for 3. The start was led by Mitchell Marsh 81 off 44 and Adin Markaram 47, who combined for 99 runs, the best opening partnership of the season so far. The duo attacked the shorter leg side boundary relentlessly, punishing pace with flicks, pulls, and power cuts. They took Spencer Johnson and Harshit Rana to task in particular. Markaram fell to Harshit, but Marsh kept up the tempo, notching a 36-ball 50. Then came Nicholas Pooran. Pooran entered with intent and launched a calculated assault. He started with clean cuts and built into audacious stroke play against spinners and pacers alike. He brought up his 50 off just 21 balls and took 24 runs off an Andre Russell over that featured 3 boundaries and 2 towering sixes. Despite losing Marsh and Markaram, Pooran and the finishers ensured LSG ended strong. Vaibhav Arora and Harshit bowled commendably in the final overs, with well-directed Yorkers limiting what could have been a 250-plus score. KKR's blazing reply and sudden collapse. KKR began their chase with aggression, hammering 90 in the power play, the highest of IPL 2025. Ajinkya Rahane 61 off 35 and Venkatesh Iyer 45 were in sublime touch, adding 71 off 40 for the third wicket. Sunil Narine, too, gave them a flying start, despite falling in the 7th over to leg spinner Digvesh Rathi. Rahane's timing, elegance, and aggression had Eden buzzing. But his dismissal, chipping to cover off Shardul Thakur, sparked a collapse. From 162 for 2 in the 13th over, KKR slumped to 195 for 7 by the 18th. Rinku Singh tried to salvage the chase with a 15-ball 38 not out, including some crisp strikes in the final over, but it was too late. The collapse was led by Bishnoi removing Ramandeep Singh, Avesh Khan dismissing Angakrish Raghuvanshi, Akash Deep and Thakur picking up Venkatesh and Russell, respectively. Shardul Thakur's 18th over, despite earlier leaking runs, was a game-turning effort, showcasing control under pressure. LSG's tactical brilliance in the death overs. LSG stuck with 5 bowlers and rotated them intelligently. They refrained from bowling spin to Dubey and timed Bishnoi and Rathis overs strategically. The decision to bowl spin at the death was bold, and it paid off with Bishnoi tightening things up in the penultimate overs. Their fielding, especially Markaram's catch at long off and Pant's gloves behind the stumps, proved crucial. Match summary: LSG to 38 for 3, Pooran 87, Marsh 81, Markaram 47, Harshit 2 for 51. KKR 234 for 7, Rahane 61, Venkatesh 45, Rinku 38, Thakur 2 for 52. LSG won by 4 runs. Final word. This game was a spectacle of attacking batting, tactical twists, and high-pressure nerves. For LSG, Pooran's return to form and Marsh's stability are huge boosts. For KKR, the inability to finish a solid start with composure will be a concern. As IPL 2025 heats up, this thriller may go down as one of the most memorable clashes of the season so far.
IPL 2025, top 10 batsmen so far, who's dominating the race for the orange cap. We're nearly halfway to the IPL 2025 season, and the race for the orange cap is heating up, with consistent fireworks across grounds and some surprise entries climbing the ranks. Here's your updated look at the top 10 batsmen of the season so far. No major shakeup in the top 3, but the real story is who's quietly moving into the spotlight. 1. Nicholas Pooran, LSG. Runs 245, strike rate 190 plus. Pooran is setting the pace this season. With his mix of flair and power, he's been LSG's match winner-in-chief, turning games single-handedly. Whether it's clearing the ropes or anchoring chases, Pooran looks unstoppable. 2. Bisai Sudarsan GT. Runs 230 plus, consistency king. Sudarsan has quietly emerged as one of GT's most valuable players. Blending elegant stroke play with match awareness, he's already compiled 3 half-centuries. A rising star shining bright, 3 Mitchell Marsh LSG. Runs, 220 plus 50s, 4 in 5 innings. Marsh is making a serious orange cap statement. Every time he walks out, runs follow. He's hammering pace, bullying spin, and doing it all with ruthless regularity. He's in red-hot form, and LSG are reaping the benefits. 4 Joe Butler GT. Runs, 203 explosive opener. GT's dynamo has quietly racked up to 100-plus runs. Even without his trademark big centuries, Butler has laid strong platforms every time. With him still warming up, expect fireworks in the second half of the tournament. 5 Ajinkya Rahane. Runs, 200-plus, underrated finisher. Yes, you read that right. Rahane, with a calm 20 on a slow chip-o pitch, quietly became the 5th man to pass 200 runs this season. He's reinvented himself as a composed finisher, and KKR are loving the veteran's cool touch. 6 Suryakumar Yadav. Runs, 190-plus. Strike rate, high 170s. Sky's shot-making remains outrageous. He's not quite peaked yet, but even his cameos light up the innings. If he strings together a few big scores, expect him to rocket up the charts. 7 Virat Kohli RCB. Runs, 185-plus. The king is consistent. Kohli's back to his calculated best, building innings, rotating strike, and accelerating just when needed. While others blast, he balances. And as always, he's the heartbeat of RCB's batting. 8 Rajat Pradar RCB. Runs, 180-plus vertical bar middle order muzzle. In an RCB lineup full of stars, Paradar's clean hitting has stood out. He's already played a couple of match-winning knocks and is proving he can dominate spin and pace alike. A quiet hero for Bengaluru. 9 KL Rahul DC. Runs, 180-plus, match winner mode activated. Fresh of a stunning 93 against RCB at his home ground, Rahul is finding his rhythm. Once again, he's anchoring Delhi Capital's innings while accelerating when needed. A few more knocks like that, and he's climbing fast. Sparkles 10. Ruturaj Gaikwad, CSK. Runs, 170-plus vertical bar, solid but needs more support. The CSK skipper has been steady at the top, but with little support from the middle order, his efforts often go in vain. Still, his technique and timing remain top class. Bar chart in summary, the 200-run club. Nicholas Puran LSG 245. B. Sai Sudarshan GD 230+. Mitchell Marsh LSG 220+. Joe Butler GT 203. Ajinkya Rahane KKR 200+. And the rest? Breathing down their necks. The orange cap race is far from over. Expect drama, big knocks, and new contenders in the coming weeks. Who's your pick for the orange cap this season? Drop your predictions below. And stay tuned for our next Top 10 update. As the IPL 2025 Purple Cap race, ballers rise as batting fireworks continue. While the 2025 IPL season has been ablaze with power-packed batting and record-breaking sixes, it's the ballers quietly stacking up game-changing spells, fighting toe-to-toe in the race for the prestigious Purple Cap. At this crucial juncture, one name stands tall above the rest, Noor Ahmed of Chennai Super Kings. Noor Ahmed holds on. But for how long? Afghanistan's left-arm mystery spinner Noor Ahmed got off to a dream start, scalping 9 wickets in just his first 3 games. Although his wicket-taking pace has slowed, grabbing only 1 wicket in each of his last 3 games, his consistency keeps him to clear at the top with 12 wickets at a stellar average of 13.16. His best? A fiery 4 for 18, which derailed the top order in vintage CSK style. But with the chasing pack closing in, Noor will need another big haul soon to retain his grip on the cap. Hardik Pandya, captain, all-rounder, Wrecking Ball. The revival arc of Hardik Pandya in IPL 2025 is sensational. The MI captain's new ball destruction has been pivotal. 10 wickets in 4 matches, including a blistering 5 for 36, the best bowling figures of the season so far. With the lowest bowling strike rate among the top 10, just 8.4 balls per wicket, Hardik is steamrolling opponents. He may have conceded runs at 8.57 RPO, but MI isn't complaining as long as he continues knocking over opposition top orders. Titans of Gujarat, Siraj and Sai Kishore power GT's surge. Gujarat Titans sit top of the table, and it's not just their batters who have delivered. Their bowling unit, too, is humming. Our Sai Kishore, with 10 wickets in 5 games, has been GT's spin spearhead. His miserly economy of 7.25 on batting-friendly wickets stands out, as does his control in the middle overs. Mohammad Siraj, meanwhile, has returned with 10 wickets, including a breathtaking 4 for 17 that rattled SRH. Siraj's bounce and reverse swing under lights have turned him into GT's go-to strike bowler. GT are the only side with the bowlers in the top 5, a testament to their all-round dominance. Khalil Ahmed and the curious case of CSK's fight back. In a CSK squad struggling for consistency, Khalil Ahmed has emerged as a bright spot. His 10 wickets in 6 matches, including 3 for 29 against DC, have been crucial in applying pressure despite CSK's struggles elsewhere. His economy of 8.91 may raise eyebrows, but he's often bowled at the death when chaos reigns. Chasing back, Stark, Kuldeep and the X Factors. Mitchell Stark DC made headlines with his maiden 5-wicket haul in T20 as 5 for 35. With 9 wickets in 4 matches, he's averaging just 15.44. Shardul Thakur LSG has been the chaos agent, 9 wickets, high economy 10.82, but game-changing bursts. Kuldeep Yadav DC is quietly brilliant, 8 wickets, including multiple middle-over strangleholds. His economy of 5.56 is the best among the top 15. Varun Raikikar is spinning it big again. His tight control, 6.39 economy and clever variations make him a tough nut to crack. Honorable mentions Hazelwood, Krenal and Rathi. Josh Hazelwood RCB, always dependable, has 8 wickets, keeping RCB in games with his calm death bowling. Krenal Pandya RCB boasts the best strike rate 12.85 among spinners in the top 15, including a spectacular 4 for 45 in a match-turning spell. Digvesh Rathi LSG rounds out the list with 7 wickets in 5 games, proving his mettle with economical middle overs and timely breakthroughs. Purple Cap Watch, what lies ahead? As the IPL 2025 heats up, with pitches wearing down and slower surfaces dominating the second half, spinners like Kuldeep, Chakravarti and Rathi might become even more dangerous. Meanwhile, the Pacers, Siraj, Stark and Hardik will be licking their lips at night matches and power plays. Expect this leaderboard to keep shifting, and possibly even see someone like Rashid Khan or Harshal Patel making a late dash. Who's your purple cap favorite for 2025? Will Noor hold on? Will Hardik's storming comeback continue? Or is Kuldeep quietly spinning his way to the crown? Stay tuned. The IPL 2025 Purple Cap race is far from over, and it's shaping up to be a thriller till the very last match.
Gujarat Titans vs Sunrisers Hyderabad, 6th April 2025. Siraj's fiery spell and Gil Washington combo hand SRH 4th straight defeat. Result: Gujarat Titans 153 for 3, Gil 61, Washington 49, Shami 2 for 28 beat Sunrisers Hyderabad 152 for 8, Reddy 31, Siraj 4 for 17, Sai Kishore 2 for 24, Prasidh 2 for 25, by 7 wickets. Venue: Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium, Hyderabad. Introduction: Titans steamroll SRH as slide continues. A clinical Gujarat Titans side handed Sunrisers Hyderabad their 4th straight defeat of the season, chasing down 153 with 7 wickets and nearly 4 overs to spare. It was a game where local hero Mohammad Siraj made an emotional and emphatic return, tearing through SRH's top and lower order with a career-best 4 for 17, while Shubman Gill and Washington Sundar led a methodical chase on a slow surface. SRH's innings lacked momentum and authority, and despite a cameo from Pat Cummins and a spirited middle-order fight from Nitish Reddy, they never truly recovered from the blows delivered by Siraj early in the innings. Siraj's dream homecoming. Hyderabad-born Mohammad Siraj rose to the occasion in front of his family and home crowd, delivering a spell that defined the match. He dismissed Travis Head with a trademark wobble seam delivery after Head had taken him for 2 early boundaries. Then came Abhishek Sharma, miscuing to mid-on in Siraj's 3rd over of the power play, his 100th IPL wicket. Siraj returned at the death to clean up Aniket Verma and Simarjeet Singh, finishing with 4 for 17 in a superb display of seam, swing, and precision. His celebration showed what it meant, an emotional release from the hurt of national omission and a signal that he's back at his best. SRH's batting malfunction, again. SRH, playing at home on a slow, black soil pitch, were again undone by poor shot selection and a lack of adaptability. Their first 6 came in the 13th over, and they managed only 2 in total. After Siraj's early strikes, the middle order offered resistance but couldn't shift gears. Reddy's 31 was the top score, but no batter took charge or imposed themselves. Even the usually explosive Klassen and Maxwell struggled to rotate strike consistently. Pat Cummins added a late 22 off 9 balls, but it was more cosmetic than competitive. Titans tamed the chase. SRH got a glimmer of hope when Cummins removed Jose Butler for a duck, but Washington Sundar and Shubman Gill quickly extinguished it. Promoted to number 4, Washington played with freedom and awareness, smashing 23 runs in the power play and finishing with 49 off 29 balls, the highest IPL score of his career. Gill, meanwhile, remained the anchor, seamlessly blending elegance and precision. His unbeaten 61 off 43 balls was the glue holding GT's chase together. Once Sundar fell attempting to reach his half-century, Sherfane Rutherford took over. He unleashed a barrage of boundaries against Abhishek Sharma, sealing the game with a 6, a 4, and a couple of singles as GT crossed the target in the 17th over. Tactical mastery and composure. GT's bowling plans were precise. Sai Kishore and Prasidh Krishna kept the pressure after Siraj's breakthroughs. Their spinners, though not needed in abundance, kept things tight, not allowing any easy runs. The batting, on the other hand, was anchored in communication and trust. Gill and Washington kept recalibrating their approach, capitalizing on SRH's bowling changes. Cummins and Shami were effective early, but once they finished their spells, the attack lost bite. SRH's decision to leave out Rahul Chahar in favor of Simarjeet didn't pay off, and the middle overs execution, especially post-power play, lacked imagination. What they said. Mohammad Siraj, when the ball is listening to you, it gives a different feeling. I wasn't selected for India, but I prepared for this. I'm enjoying my bowling now. Shubman Gill, people talk a lot about batting in T20s, but we believe bowlers win games. That's where our emphasis is. Washington Sundar, I was told to go deep and bat with intent. This pitch suits chasing, and we read it well. Pat Cummins, tough pitch to get fluency. We started well but faded. Depth and consistency with the ball were missing. Key performers. Mohammad Siraj, 4 for 17, lethal power play and death spells. Shubman Gill, 61 not out of 43 balls, composed anchor. Washington Sundar, 49 of 29, attacking intent, stabilizing presence. Sai Kishore and Prasidh Krishna, controlled middle overs. Pat Cummins, 22 and 1 for 18, lone bright spot. Final word, Titans in control, SRH in crisis. With 3 wins on the trot, Gujarat Titans are quietly building momentum. Their all-round balance, calm leadership, and clarity in roles are setting them apart. Sunrisers, meanwhile, find themselves staring at an identity crisis. The feared batting unit looks meek, and the bowling lacks depth post Cummins and Shami. Unless they recalibrate soon, IPL 2025 could slip away quickly. Final result, Gujarat Titans won by 7 wickets. Player of the match, Mohammad Siraj, 4 for 17. Rajasthan Royals vs Punjab Kings. Jaiswal, Archer and Royals in sync as PBKS suffer first loss in Mullanpur. Result, Rajasthan Royals to 0-5 for 4, Jaiswal 67, Parag 43 not out, Samson 38, Ferguson 2 for 37 beat Punjab Kings 155 for 9, Vadhera 62, Maxwell 30, Archer 3 for 25, Sandeep 2 for 21, Thikshana 2 for 26 by 50 runs. Venue, Maharaja Yadvindra Singh International Stadium, Mullanpur. Introduction, Royals tick every box in a commanding win. Rajasthan Royals executed a near-flawless performance on both sides of the innings to dismantle a spirited Punjab Kings outfit by 50 runs in Mullanpur. It was a match where everything on the Royals' wish list came true. Yashasvi Jaiswal returned to form, Riyan Parag exploded at the death, and Jofra Archer delivered a vintage spell of hostile pace bowling. Royals became the first team to breach the 200-run mark at Mullanpur, and then backed it up with a collective bowling performance that left Punjab Kings reeling and eventually deflated. For PBKS, it was their first loss at their new home and a timely wake-up call. Jaiswal and Samson lay the groundwork. Yashasvi Jaiswal had a nervous start against the swinging new ball from Arshdeep Singh and Marco Jansen. After mistimed pulls and streaky edges, he settled in with a ramp and slog off Jansen to get his innings going. Sanju Samson, leading the side on the field for the first time this season, looked far more assured early on. By the end of the power play, the Royals were 53 for 0, setting the tone for a strong batting display. Samson's innings ended trying to up the ante against Lockie Ferguson, but not before contributing 38 in a 71-run opening stand. Jaiswal, having grown into the innings, moved from 46 off 39 to a brisk 67, including big hits of Chahal and Stoinis. His knock helped Ara reach a strong platform before departing in the 13th over. Parag powers the finish. Riyan Parag took time to adjust but exploded late with a flurry of boundaries. From 12 off 14, he finished on 43 off 25 balls. His shift in gears was crucial, especially with cameos from Nitish Rana, Hetmeyer, and Jural adding to the late burst. Marcus Stoinis, economical early, was taken apart at the end, conceding 36 runs in his final 2 overs as Ara rocketed past 200. Archer's thunderous opening. PBK's chase was derailed before it began, thanks to a masterful first over from Jofra Archer. First ball, Priyansh Arya bowled by an absolute peach at 144.6 km per hour. Fourth ball, Shreyas Iyer cleaned up by a 148.6 km per hour thunderbolt. Archer was back to his brutal best, and the scoreboard showed it: 4 balls, 2 wickets, 0 runs. The early strikes set the tone. Marcus Stoinis chipped a return catch to Sandeep Sharma, and Prabsimran Singh holed out to deep mid-wicket off Karthikeya. Vadhera and Maxwell offer hope. At 40 for 4, PBKS were in tatters, but Nehal Vadhera and Glenn Maxwell stitched an 88-run standoff 54 balls to breathe life into the chase. Maxwell used ramps and reverse hits effectively, while Vadhera played down the ground and over extra cover with elegance. Their partnership offered PBKS a flicker of hope as the run rate was kept in check temporarily, with 75 needed off 30 balls after the 15th over. The spin clamped down. Mahesh Thikshana and Vanindu Hasranga ensured the momentum didn't last long. Their tight lines and tempting lengths outside the hitting arc frustrated PBKS. The spinners' defensive tactics paid off. Maxwell was caught at long off trying to force the issue off Thikshana, and Vadhera was out slog sweeping Hasranga immediately after. From that point, PBKS collapsed, hitting just one boundary in the final 5.4 overs as wickets stumbled and hopes faded. Key performers: Yashasvi Jaiswal, 67 off 40, a return to form after early season struggles. Riyan Parag, 43 not out 25, accelerated perfectly at the death. Jofra Archer, 3 for 25, lethal with pace and control. Sandeep Sharma and Thikshana, 2 wickets each, clinical middle-overs execution. Nehal Vadhera, 62 of 45, lone bright spot for PBKS. Final word, Royals on a roll, Kings stumble at home. Rajasthan Royals delivered a well-rounded performance in Mullanpur, blending explosive batting with intelligent bowling. With Archer firing and spinners in control, they look like a unit peaking at the right time. Punjab Kings, despite promising signs from Vadhera and Maxwell, were always chasing the game. They'll need to regroup quickly as the tournament intensifies. Final result, Rajasthan Royals won by 50 runs. Player of the match, Jofra Archer, 3 for 25. Power-packed and composed, LSG hold nerve to seal 6th win over MI despite Hardik's heroics. Lucknow Super Giants to 0-3 for 8 beat Mumbai Indians 191 for 5 by 12 runs. LSG now lead the head-to-head 6-1. In a game brimming with tension, tactics, and tantalizing momentum swings, Lucknow Super Giants maintained their dominance over the Mumbai Indians, scripting a clinical 12-run victory at home despite a dazzling 5-wicket haul by MI captain Hardik Pandya. This was LSG's 6th win in 7 IPL encounters against the 5-time champions, and while the headlines may laud Hardik's record-setting bowling performance, it was the strategic mastery of Mitchell Marsh, Adin Markaram, and the calm execution by LSG's bowlers, particularly Shardul Thakur, Avesh Khan, and the rising enigma Digvesh Rathi, that sealed the deal. The final stretch, death bowling masterclass. With 52 runs needed from 24 balls, Mumbai had the advantage. Suryakumar Yadav was in fluid touch, unbeaten on 67, and Tilak Verma was set at the other end. But cricket, especially T20 cricket, turns quickly. Avesh Khan's pivotal 17th over tilted the game when he removed Suryakumar with a well-executed slower ball. That dismissal, with Sky sweeping a wide delivery straight to deep square leg, broke Me's rhythm. Hardik entered with intent, but Rathi stifled scoring in the 18th, conceding just 5 runs. Shardul Thakur's penultimate over was nothing short of surgical. With 24 needed off 12 balls, Thakur's mix of yorkers and wide-angle deliveries restricted MI to just 7 runs. Then came a tactical call from the MI dugout. Tilak Verma was retired out to bring in Mitchell Santner, but the ploy fizzled as Avesh held his nerve in the final over. Hardik began with a mighty 6, but the rest of the over yielded just 3 more runs. Avesh's yorkers were spot on, and the 22-run target proved too steep. Collision symbol Sky lights up the night, Dheer provides the spark. Naman Dheer set the tone for Me's chase with a fearless 46 off just 21 deliveries. His composure and clean striking allowed Suryakumar to settle into a rhythm. The duo recovered from the early loss of Will Jacks and Ryan Rickalton, both falling 2 mistimed slogs. Sky's 43-ball 67 was vintage, flicks, scoops, drives, it had all the hallmarks of his repertoire. His ability to thread the field made even good deliveries disappear to the boundary. But Me's middle order couldn't keep pace. While Tilak remained unbeaten, he struggled for fluency and eventually was sacrificed in a tactical substitution. The Marsh Markaram Launchapat. Put into bat, LSG flew off the blocks, racking up 69 in the power play. Mitchell Marsh, who survived a caught-behind chance off the very first over, made full use of the reprieve. His 60 off 31 balls included thunderous strokes down the ground and 2 majestic sixes. It was the Marsh of old, confident, commanding, and explosive. Adin Markaram, calm and efficient, provided the perfect foil. His 53 off 38 balls wasn't just about strike rate, it was about holding the innings together after Marsh's departure. Markaram mixed classical drives with the occasional big shot, reaching his 50 off 34 balls. Hardik Pandya's record-breaking spell. Despite an eventual loss, Hardik Pandya etched his name in the record books. His 5 for 36 was the best-ever bowling figure by an IPL captain, surpassing Anil Kumble. His scalps included the prized wickets of Nicholas Pooran, undone by a slower bouncer. Rishabh Pant, caught at mid-off with a mistimed flick. Markaram, falling to an off-cutter at the death. David Miller and Akashdeep, both gone in the final over. His mix of pace-off deliveries, slower balls into the pitch, and cutters worked well on the sticky Lucknow surface. Without Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik led the bowling with aplomb. But in the end, he was left with too much to do. Digvesh Rathi, the game changer. In a match full of stars, Digvesh Rathi quietly spun his way into the spotlight. The unassuming spinner, often compared to Sunil Narine for his action, bowled 4 overs for just 21 runs and picked up the crucial wicket of Dheer. He not only stifled boundaries but created pressure in the middle overs, a phase MI were banking on to tee off. Key tactical moments. Marsh's non-dismissal early on changed the tone of LSG's innings. LSG promoting Markaram to open proved successful. Tilak's tactical retirement was bold but backfired. Hardik bowling at the death, a move necessitated by Bumrah's absence, was both brilliant and unfortunate. Shardul and Avesh saving their best for the end, LSG used them at the right time. Match summary. LSG, 203 for 8, Marsh 60, Markaram 53, Badoni 30, Hardik 5 for 36. MI, 191 for 5, Suryakumar 67, Dheer 46, Avesh 1 for 36, Thakur 1 for 32, Rathi 1 for 21. Result, LSG won by 12 runs. Player of the match, Mitchell Marsh. His power play blitz set the platform for LSG's commanding total and proved decisive. Final takeaway. For Mumbai, Hardik Pandya's all-round brilliance was a silver lining, but the inability to capitalize on middle overs momentum and lack of death overs dominance hurt them once again. For Lucknow, it was a complete team effort, smart batting, tactical use of spin, and composure in the death overs. If LSG continued this form, they could be serious contenders this season. Mumbai Indians vs Royal Challengers Bengaluru, 7th April 2025. RCB survive Hardik Tilak storm to break 10-year Wankhede curse. Result, Royal Challengers Bengaluru to 21 for 5, Kohli 67, Patidar 64, Hardik 2 for 45, Bolt 2 for 57 beat Mumbai Indians to 09 for 9, Tilak 56, Hardik 42, Krunal 4 for 45, Hazelwood 2 for 37, by 12 runs. Venue, Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai. Introduction, RCB end another long drought in a thriller. RCB continued their jinx-breaking spree in IPL 2025 by clinching their first win at the Wankhede Stadium in a decade, just days after ending a 17-year drought at Chepauk. In a high-scoring clash filled with big hits, standout performances, and late drama, they held their nerve to edge past Mumbai Indians by 12 runs. It wasn't a cruise despite posting a massive 221, as Hardik Pandya and Tilak Verma threatened to pull off a miraculous heist. But the composed Krunal Pandya and death bowling brilliance from Hazelwood and Bhuvneshwar secured the crucial win. Kohli's intent lights the fuse. Trent Bolt started proceedings with his 31st first-over wicket in the IPL, but it was all RCB after that. Devdutt Padikkal responded immediately with a boundary, and the aggression never stopped. Virat Kohli, often an anchor, flipped the script with a blazing 29-ball 50, his fastest since 2019. Kohli took 36 off 19 balls in the power play and displayed rare aggression against spin, unleashing slog sweeps in the middle overs. His early charge set the tone, allowing Patidar to settle at the other end. Patidar's middle-order firepower. Hardik Pandya initially choked the flow with his wide lines and pace variations, picking up the key wickets of Kohli and Livingstone in the same over. But Rajat Patidar turned the tide, launching into Hardik and dismantling Santner's figures with 20 off a single over. Patidar went from 8 off 10 to a 33-ball 64, creating the platform for a big finish. Jitesh Sharma joined the onslaught, smashing 24 off just 8 balls as Bolt leaked 57 in his 4 overs, his most expensive IPL spell. Despite 3 clinical overs from Bumrah, who conceded only 14, RCB pushed the total to 221 for 5. Hazelwood and Suyash stalled the chase. The MI chase began in stuttered fashion. Hazelwood's tight lengths and Suyash Sharma's unorthodox action created early pressure. Hazelwood removed Rickelton with help from a sharp DRS call, and after the power play, MI had only 41 on the board. Suryakumar Yadav, unable to find rhythm, laboured to 8 off 13 before falling to Suyash. With Will Jacks also failing to accelerate, MI needed a miracle with 123 required off the last 8 overs. Hardik and Tilak spark hope. Enter Hardik Pandya and Tilak Verma. The pair added 89 off 34 balls, injecting belief into Me's camp. Tilak took 17 off Suyash's final over and raced to a 29-ball 56. Hardik was electric, smashing 42 off just 15 balls with a mix of straight lofts and flicked sixes. From a near-impossible equation, MI brought it down to 41 off the final 3 overs. Krunal, Bhuvneshwar and Hazelwood delivered a death bowling masterclass, yorkers, slower balls, and variations that kept MI at bay. Krunal's final blow. With 19 needed off the final over, Krunal Pandya was handed the responsibility. Bowling to his former side, he kept his composure. He dismissed Santner and Deepak Chahar, denying MI the boundaries they craved. Krunal's 4 for 45 were his best IPL figures and the final dagger in Me's hopes. Key performers. Virat Kohli, 67 from 38, blistering knock that set the tone. Rajat Patidar, 64 from 33, high-impact middle-order innings. Hardik Pandya, 42 from 15 and 2 for 45, an all-round spark that almost stole the game. Tilak Verma, 56 from 29, smart acceleration and stroke play. Krunal Pandya, 4 for 45 from 4, nerves of steel in the final over. Josh Hazelwood, 2 for 37, clinical execution in both power play and death. Final word, RCB saw MI stagger. RCB will be elated with another statement win away from home, and the breaking of long-standing venue hoodoos. Kohli's intent, Patidar's power, and Krunal's poise were key ingredients in this balanced performance. For MI, this was a missed opportunity. Despite the late fireworks, they remain plagued by inconsistent top-order starts and leaking runs at the death. 2 losses in a row will ring alarm bells, especially with their bowling depth stretched. Final result, Royal Challengers Bengaluru won by 12 runs. Player of the match, Rajat Patidar, 64 from 33. Venkatesh blasts, Arora strikes, and KKR crush SRH by 80 runs in statement victory. There are thrashings, and then there are warning shots fired to the rest of the league. Kolkata Knight Riders delivered the latter at Eden Gardens with a performance that fused resilience, power, and ruthless pace bowling to hand Sunrisers Hyderabad their biggest ever IPL defeat by runs, a humbling 80-run margin. After a solid foundation laid by Ajinkya Rahane and the rising star Angakrish Raghuvanshi, KKR exploded in the final overs thanks to a vintage Venkatesh Iyer blitz and a finishing touch from Rinku Singh to post 200 for 6. What followed was a bowling demolition, led by Vaibhav Arora's early triple strike and Varun Chakravarti's middle-over wizardry, which broke the backbone of SRH's supposedly formidable top order. KKR's fight back begins with the bat. The innings didn't start smoothly. KKR were struggling at 17 for 2, with Sunil Narine and Quinton de Kock dismissed cheaply, both failing for the second game in a row. De Kock's woes against short-pitched bowling continued, and Narine's attacking instincts again betrayed him. But the middle order rose. Ajinkya Rahane, calm and classic, and Raghuvanshi, bold and brutal, combined for an 81-run partnership. They hit a combined 7 boundaries and 4 sixes, mostly targeting SRH's inconsistent fast bowlers. Raghuvanshi, in particular, peppered the leg side with some disdainful flicks and pulls. Then came the acceleration. After Rahane's dismissal 38 off 27, Venkatesh Iyer picked up the baton. He didn't just score a half-century, he sent a message. A 29-ball 60 laced with 5 fours and 4 sixes, including a withering assault in the 19th over against Pat Cummins. Even with Harshal Patel delivering a decent final over, KKR's death overs yielded 78 runs, and they reached a daunting 200. SRH's star-studded top order blown away. If the Eden crowd was still buzzing after Venkatesh's fireworks, they were positively roaring moments later. Enter Vaibhav Arora. First came Travis Head, undone by a clever change of pace, mistiming a simple catch to mid-off. Then Abhishek Sharma fell to Harshit Rana, poking tamely to slip. And when Ishan Kishan drove straight into Rahane's safe hands at cover, SRH had slumped to 9 for 3 inside 2.1 overs. The once explosive, Trevisan opening pair had self-destructed. In came Henrik Klassen, SRH's middle-order anchor, but the fight back never truly materialized. He attempted resistance, striking a few boundaries in a top score of 33, but fell to Arora's second spell, top-edging a slower ball to backward point. Meanwhile, KKR squeezed relentlessly. Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti bowled 5 overs of spin straight through the middle, giving away just 33 runs and snaring 2 key wickets. Varun nearly even took a hat-trick in the 16th over. The final wicket stumbled with little resistance. SRH were bowled out for 120, a total that not only marked their lowest against KKR but also highlighted serious flaws in their batting approach this season. Vaibhav Arora and Venkatesh Iyer, stars of the night. Arora's 3 for 29 was not just clinical, it was destructive, dismantling the famed top order with smart variations and probing lengths. Backed by Harshit Rana and Russell's short spells, KKR's quicks outclassed SRH's celebrated power hitters. Venkatesh, meanwhile, was a man transformed. Known for his silken stroke play, this was a statement knock, precise, powerful, and perfectly timed. Eyes what this means. KKR jumped from bottom to 5th, showcasing their depth and intent as defending champions. SRH slide to last, reeling from a 3rd straight loss and the ignominy of being bowled out under 130 for the second time in 4 days. Travis Head and Abhishek Sharma, the heroes of SRH's opener, are now under pressure after back-to-back failures. SRH's think tank, led by Cummins and Boucher, will now need to rethink their batting combinations and middle-order game plan. Key stats and moments. KKR's 200 was their highest total this season. SRH's top 3 contributed just 8 runs, their second worst start ever. Raghuvanshi's second IPL 50 in 3 innings cements his place as a future star. SRH's 80-run defeat is their biggest loss by runs in IPL history. Final word. This was more than just a win for Kolkata Knight Riders, it was a reassertion of dominance. With players like Venkatesh, Rinku, and Arora firing, and spin strangulation as reliable as ever, the Knights seem to have shrugged off their Mumbai misfire and are galloping toward the top. As for SRH, their explosive style might bring fireworks, but unless they address the fragile top order and muddled middle, the season might explode for all the wrong reasons. Delhi Capitals vs Chennai Super Kings, 5th April 2025. KL Rahul anchors as Delhi Capitals outclass CSK to break 15-year Chepauk drought. Result: Delhi Capitals 183 for 6, Rahul 77, Khalil 2 for 25 beat Chennai Super Kings 158 for 5, Vijay 69 not out, Nigam 2 for 27 by 25 runs. Venue: M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai. Introduction: Fortress Chepauk breached again. For the second time in IPL 2025, Chennai Super Kings suffered defeat at their home ground to a side that had not beaten them there in 15 years. This time, it was Delhi Capitals who rewrote the script with a comprehensive 25-run win that not only broke a long-standing jinx but also exposed chinks in CSK's famed armour. KL Rahul, stepping in for the rested Faf du Plessis, crafted a vital 77 of 51 balls to anchor DC's innings. The bowlers, led by Khalil Ahmed and debutant Vipraj Nigam, choked CSK's chase with discipline and precision, turning Chepauk into unfamiliar territory for the hosts. KL Rahul's measured masterclass. Opening the innings, Rahul took his time to assess the slow, dry pitch. He was 25 off 20 balls before shifting gears, thanks largely to his calculated assault on Noor Ahmed, the tournament's leading wicket-taker. With finesse and timing, Rahul took 20 off Noor's 9 deliveries. He dissected the field with sweeps, pulls, and even a delicate reverse scoop off Mukesh Chaudhary. Mukesh bore the brunt of Rahul's aggression, conceding the most boundaries, 40% of DC's total. Rahul's eventual 77 was a lesson in adapting to conditions, accelerating when set, and anchoring when needed. DC's innings lost a bit of momentum toward the end, as Rahul managed just 16 runs off his final 13 balls. Still, the foundation he laid proved invaluable. DC's controlled finish. While Rahul held one end, cameos from Abhishek Pauril 29 and Tristan Stubbs 26 ensured DC crossed 180. Though no batter exploded in the death overs, the innings was built on intelligence rather than brute force. They understood the pitch and the venue and backed their bowlers to defend a competitive total. CSK's shaky start and familiar failings. Chasing 184, CSK stumbled early. Rachan Ravindra was undone by Mukesh Kumar's slower delivery that held in the pitch. Rituraj Gaikwad struck a clean pull off Mitchell Starc, only to pick out the deep fielder. At 20 for 2 in the third over, the pressure was already telling. CSK have not chased down a total above 180 in the last 6 seasons, a trend that looked destined to continue as DC's bowlers suffocated the middle order. Vijay Shankar's laboured innings. Vijay Shankar's unbeaten 69 of 54 balls summed up CSK's batting woes. He scored just one boundary in his first 31 deliveries, struggled to find timing, and nearly ran himself out twice. Despite surviving, he couldn't find fluency on a sluggish pitch. His grimaces and frustrated reactions painted the picture. While CSK hit out on 38 balls and found the boundary just 12 times, DC were successful 21 times from 37 attacking deliveries, a clear indicator of which side managed the conditions better. Dhoni's early arrival, quite impact. For once, MS Dhoni walked out in the 11th over, not the 19th. With the top order collapsing, there was little choice. Dhoni, playing in front of his parents for the first time, scored 30 off 26 balls, including one boundary and one six. Despite the emotional moment, the innings lacked punch. CSK fans, who often erupt at the mere sight of Dhoni, watched in eerie silence as the legend fought a losing battle. Bowling brilliance, Nigam and Kuldeep star. Vipraj Nigam continued to impress, picking up 2 wickets and conceding just 27 runs. His dismissal of Moeen Ali, who was beaten in flight, set the tone. Kuldeep Yadav delivered the ball of the match, a killer googly that castled Ravindra Jadeja. Starc and Khalil complemented the spinners by varying pace and lengths, never letting CSK settle. CSK's numbers tell the story. Jadeja has not completed his full quota of overs in 4 matches. Ashwin has bowled 4 overs only twice. CSK have hit the fewest sixes in the tournament. Their middle order, positions 4 to 7 average just 21.76 with a strike rate of 116.94, the lowest in the league. These stats reflect deeper issues with balance and strategy. Final word, DC rising, CSK reeling. Delhi Capitals executed their plans perfectly, win the toss, bat first, post a par-plus score, and let their bowlers choke the chase. KL Rahul's composed 77, backed by disciplined bowling and alert fielding, handed DC a memorable win. For CSK, back-to-back defeats at home raise serious questions. Their aura at Chepauk is fading, and unless the middle order steps up and spin combinations are used better, more heartbreaks may follow. Punjab Kings vs Chennai Super Kings, 8th April 2025. Arya's record century crushes CSK as Punjab Kings extend Chennai's misery. Result: Punjab Kings to 19 for 6, Arya 103, Shashank 50 to not out Khalil 2 for 45, beat Chennai Super Kings to 0-1 for 5 Conway 69, Dubey 42, Ferguson 2 for 40 by 18 runs. Venue, Mullanpur. Introduction: Arya ignites IPL with record-breaking tone. The IPL 2025 continues to dazzle, and this time it was 24-year-old Priyansh Arya who lit up the tournament with a blistering 103 off just 42 balls, the fastest century by an uncapped Indian and joint 4th fastest in IPL history. His audacious assault propelled Punjab Kings, PBKS to 219, a total that ultimately proved too steep for Chennai Super Kings, CSK, who slumped to their fourth consecutive loss. This defeat deepens CSK's batting woes as they failed once again to chase a target over 180, their 11th such failed attempt since 2020. Arya's explosive knock. Arya walked out with a reputation forged in Delhi Premier League folklore, having hit 6 sixes in an over. His IPL breakthrough, however, was forged in a cauldron of missed chances and ruthless punishment. Dropped twice, once by Khalil Ahmed on 6 and again by Vijay Shankar on 35, Arya made CSK pay dearly. He clobbered 28 of Ashwin's 4 overs and took Pathirana for 22 in 1 over to bring up his century in the 13th over. Arya's knock included 9 fours and 8 sixes, exuding fearless stroke play and composure. The highlight was his back-to-back sixes over point and mid-wicket against Pathirana, an exhibition of hand speed and timing. Middle-order muscle, Shashank and Dymentionz finished strong. After Arya's dismissal, PBKS didn't let momentum slip. Shashank Singh took over seamlessly, belting an unbeaten 52 off 29, and found an equally willing partner in Dymentionz 34 not out. Their unbroken 65-run stand pushed PBKS to 219. The pair played innovative shots, including Dymentionz's no-look 6 and Shashank's audacious loft over Ashwin as CSK's fielders and bowlers wilted under pressure. CSK's sloppy fielding and another faltering chase. CSK were their own worst enemy early on, dropping 5 catches and offering Arya 2 lives. With the ball, Ashwin 48 for 2 and Pathirana 51 for 1, from their allocations, were expensive, unable to contain PBKS's middle-over surge. Despite a decent start to the chase, Conway and Ravindra added 59 in the power play, the middle order couldn't hold firm. Conway batted fluently but eventually retired out on 69 off 49, leaving too much for Dhoni and Jadeja. Rituraj Gaikwad fell cheaply, while Shivam Dube played a brisk 42 but was dismissed before the final push. PBKS used clever matchups, withholding spin from Dube and unleashing Chahal against Dhoni late in the chase. Dhoni arrives, but too late. With CSK needing 49 of the final 13 balls, Conway retired out to give Dhoni room. The legend hit 3 sixes, briefly igniting hope, but the required rate had climbed too high. A mistimed flick of Yash Thakur in the final over sealed the match in PBKS's favour. Key moments. Priyansh Arya, 103, 42, a record-breaking innings full of intent. Shashank Singh, 52 not out of 29, composed and destructive in the death. Dymentionz, 34 not out of 15, played crucial cameos at the end. Devon Conway, 69 of 49, steady but lacked acceleration. Shivam Dube 42 of 25, spark in the middle that faded. Fielding lapses, 5 dropped catches critical for CSK's downfall. Final word, PBKS rise, CSK stumble. Punjab Kings will be elated with this statement win, not just for the points, but for the arrival of a young star in Arya. His fearless century has set the tone for their campaign. CSK, meanwhile, must go back to the drawing board. Their fielding woes, failure to close out chases, and over-reliance on the top order continue to haunt them. The Dhoni cameo once again came too late to reverse the tide. Player of the match, Priyansh Arya from 103 from 1942.
CSK crashed to 5th straight defeat as ruthless kicker humiliate hosts at Japoik. Japoik is no longer a fortress. On a balmy Friday night in Chennai, the Kolkata Knight Riders kicker stormed into MS Dhoni's backyard and handed Chennai Super Kings CSK their worst ever total at home, chasing down a paltry target of 104 in just 10.1 overs to win by 8 wickets. The victory was not only emphatic but symbolic. A powerhouse like CSK, 5-time champions, were dismantled in their own conditions by a side that hadn't looked as assured all season. It was CSK's 5th consecutive loss, a new and unwanted record for a team long associated with consistency and control. Nareen leads the spin assault. KKR's revival was built on a classic spin strangle, executed to perfection by Sunny Narine, Varun Chakravarti, and Harshit Rana. Narine in particular rolled back the years with a dazzling spell of 3 for 13, including a rare feat of bowling 4 overs without conceding a boundary, the 16th time he's done that in the IPL, the most by any bowler. Introduced early to target CSK's two left-handed openers, Narine struck immediately. He dismissed Devon Conway with a wicket maiden and exposed the brittle CSK middle order within the power play. Mean Ali, returning to the 11, set the tone with a tight spell that prevented any momentum. Rachin Ravinder followed Conway soon after, and by the end of 6 overs, CSK were 31 for 2, a crawl by T20 standards and the second worst power play performance this season. CSK's middle order falters again. The cracks in CSK's lineup are now deep and obvious. Their much-wanted middle order ones again fell apart. Rahul Tripathi, brought in for the out-of-form Raj Gaikwad, played a muddled knock of 16 of 22 balls. Vijay Shankar received 2 lifelines through dropped catches but could only muster 29 of 27, struggling to find timing or confidence. And then came the collapse. From 59 for 3, CSK nosedived to 75 for 8. In a 20-over game, that is nothing short of catastrophic. The most damning phase was a 63-ball stretch without a boundary, a statistic that underlines the helplessness of CSK's batters against relentless KKR bowling. In that stretch, the only joy came via a toppage 4. MS Dhoni, brought back into the captaincy hot seat, walked into deafening cheers, but left under a cloud of uncertainty. He was trapped LBW by Narine for a duck, and the replays showed a faint edge that stirred debate. The on-field decision stood. A tankless defense. With just 103 to defend and Madhishap Rana unable to bowl, CSK were down a bowler even before the first over was completed. They took the gamble of using Deep Huda as their impact player to bolster the batting, but he fell for a duck, compounding their woes. The new ball bowlers went hard searching for wickets, but in doing so, only bled runs. KKR ransacked 71 runs in the power play, effectively putting the result beyond doubt in the first 6 overs. Narine wasn't done with just the ball. He returned with the bat to smash a 20-ball 44, snatching the chase away from CSK before they could even entertain thoughts of a miracle. A statement win for KKR. KKR finished the job in style, reached ING 107 for 2 in just 10.1 overs, led by Narine in a calm finish from Ankrish Rwanshi and Ramla Gurbaz. The win was not just about the points. It was a statement that KKR are figuring out their combinations and, when conditions suit their bowlers, they are as dangerous as any side in the IPL. CSK in crisis mode. For CSK, this is now 5 straight defeats, a run that leaves them 9th on the points table. Their batting depth has been exposed, their bowling plans haven't worked, and their star players are out of rhythm. They've now failed to chase totals above 180 in 11 consecutive attempts, and even defending middling totals has become a nightmare. Captain MS Dhoni summed it up bluntly. We need to look deep down inside. And they must, quickly. Because from here, every game could be the difference between a playoff run and a forgettable campaign.
Titans rise to the top, Sudharsan and Prasidh orchestrate commanding victory over Royals. Ahmedabad roars for Titans' dominance. On a red soil pitch in Ahmedabad, Gujarat Titans GT delivered a clinical performance with both bat and ball to dismantle Rajasthan Royals RR by 58 runs in match 23 of IPL 2025. With this emphatic win, GT stormed to the top of the points table, boosting 4 consecutive victories. At the heart of the triumph were Sai Sudharsan's scintillating 1982 and Prasidh Krishna's razor-sharp 3-4, sealing the deal in dew-free conditions at home. Sudharsan blazes away, Titans surge past 200. After RR chose to field first, Sai Sudharsan came out all guns blazing. Normally a slow starter, Sudharsan flipped the script with an aggressive onslaught. He made full use of the field restrictions, showcasing a classy range of strokes, scoops, cuts, and powerful drives. GT zoomed to 50 in just 5.1 overs, with Sudarshan anchoring the charge. Sudarshan brought up his half-century off just 31 balls and continued to dominate, punishing anything over-pitched or short. He found good support from Jos Buttler, who shifted gears after a slow start and contributed 36. Their 80-run partnership laid a strong platform before Mahesh Theekshana trapped Buttler LBW. Shah Rukh Khan then took over in the middle overs with a quick-fire 36 off 20, while Sudarshan moved into the 80s. Though he was dropped on 81 by Shubham Dubey, Sudarshan could only add one more run before departing for 82 off 53. In the death overs, Rahul Tewatia and Rashid Khan provided fireworks with 30 runs in the final 12 balls, propelling GT to 217 for 6. Archer returns with fire. Jofra Archer, after a lackluster start to the season, looked back to his menacing best. He clocked over 150 km/h consistently and knocked over GT skipper Shubman Gill with a pitch that jagged in at 147.7 km/h. Archer also rushed Sudarshan with a short-pitched missile, proving his pace was still elite. He finished with 1 for 33 and was one of the rare positives in RR's bowling effort. Royals falter early in chase. Chasing 218, RR stumbled right from the start. Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Rana both fell cheaply, undone by Arshad Khan and Mohammad Siraj. Despite a spirited counter-attack by Sanju Samson and Riyan Parag, Kulwant Khijrolia removed Parag in a controversial decision upheld by the third umpire, triggering a downward spiral. Rashid finds his mojo. After a quiet season so far, Rashid Khan found his groove. He struck in his first over, dismissing Dhruv Jural with a deceptive shorter delivery. He then removed impact sub Shubham Dubey with a classic googly, adding more woes to RR's sinking ship. Though Hetmeyer got the better of Rashid momentarily with 2 sixes and 2 fours, the Afghan maestro had the last laugh by keeping the pressure intact. Prasidh crushes the middle order. GT's enforcer Prasidh Krishna turned the screws further with a masterful spell. He removed Sanju Samson with a well-directed short ball before dismantling Archer and Hetmeyer in the same over, both falling to bouncers misjudged by the batters. Prasidha's 3 for 24 from 4 overs ensured that any lingering RR hopes were extinguished. At 145 for 8 in 16 overs, the chase fizzled out. RR were eventually bowled out for 159 in 19.2 overs, falling short by a massive 58-run margin. Titans' statement win. This performance solidified GT's status as frontrunners for the IPL 2025 title. Sudarshan's consistency at the top, Shah Rukh's finishing prowess, and the precision of Prasidh and Rashid give GT a fearsome balance. For Rajasthan Royals, it was a night of missed chances, dropped catches, poor execution, and an over-reliance on the lower order. Gujarat Titans are peaking at the right time, while RR will need to recalibrate their bowling and top-order strategies to stay in playoff contention. Player of the match, Sai Sudarshan 82 off 53 balls. Turning point, Prasidh Krishna's double strike in the 16th over to dismiss Archer and Hetmeyer, crushing RR's momentum. Next up, GT gear up for a top-of-the-table clash, while RR must regroup ahead of a crucial mid-season fixture.